Few professional magicians ever face the possibility of performing while seated at a table. Now, having said that, let's look at the considerable advantages that you could have if you end up sitting down. For example, if your table has a cloth or some other cover, you can start out with your final loads resting in your lap. Just pull the cloth over, and you can very easily set those into your lap. Of course, you can set them into your lap regardless, but the tablecloth does give you an extra little bit of comfort there. So that way, you won't need to wear a coat to conceal or carry your final loads, and possibly even more important, it's easier to construct a natural reason to drop your hand into your lap where you'll steal your final loads than it is to create a natural reason for going back and forth to your pockets every time you steal a final load. A final advantage from sitting is that working out of your lap also gives you a broader range of possible final loads, because you can put a lot of different items into your chair or beside your chair or in your lap that you can't carry in your coat or your pants pocket. So one of the very first things you should decide, even before you put your routine together, is whether you're going to sit or stand as you perform. A standing performance requires a painstakingly choreographed flow of traffic to and from your pockets at just the right moments for effective misdirection and cover. In order for the misdirection to be inherent, these motivated trips should immediately precede the revelation of something under the cup. So construct things so that at that moment, the position of your body makes it natural for one hand to pick the cup up and pass it to the opposite hand, an act which completes the final load. From the very start of the routine, the audience is surprised almost every time a cup is lifted, so they're quickly conditioned to look there every time they're lifted. In fact, a well-constructed cups and balls routine has built into its very fabric some of the most predictably effective examples of misdirection you'll ever see in magic. So when I say do this, and this, and this, they'll look here and not here. And you can count on that being true for a long time. Let's look at the possible places you might hide your final loads. In this section, we'll review natural pockets, secret pockets, clips, sleeves, and holders. Other, more esoteric systems will be discussed later on. For the natural pockets, you could begin by placing those inside of the front pants pockets. Of course, that leaves a natural bulge there and sometimes tips where they came from. Possibly the most practical place would be the front jacket pockets. They're natural, large, and the opening is such that you can easily get in and out at a moment's notice. Now, Vernon and some of the other performers used to always load from their back pockets, because that way the lay of the coat would tend to hide the fact that there was any sort of extra materials or bulges for any of those loads to take place. And of course, you don't always have to put all of the loads in the same pocket. In fact, I typically break that up, sometimes putting 1 or 2 in the left pocket and 2 or 3 in the right pocket. At one time, I combined the 2 back pants pockets into 1 large pocket. This idea has been independently tried by several people because, after all, this is a common problem. The point is to have plenty of room to hold your final loads, yet still have room to drop a small ball and come out of the pocket as quickly as possible. After all, think about what action you're trying to duplicate as you steal each final load. Your cover is to simply place a ball into your pocket. Now, typically, it takes a lot less time to just place something in your pocket than it does to pick something up in a specific grip, as you'll want to do with your final load. So not only do you need natural motivation, you also need quick, convenient, and economical actions, with every unnecessary motion eliminated. Unfortunately, the double back pants pocket made my pants look so strange when not wearing a coat, and it positioned the final loads a little too far away. So again, I found one more reason to use my coat pockets as my source of final loads. A European magician once showed me a piece of cardboard with a bag hanging from it. He had experienced the same problems with his back pockets as I had, and his special pouch repositioned his loads closer to the small of the back. The stiff portion tucked into his pants, and he called it a modified waiter's pouch. The small of the back pouch is a secret one, but sometimes the best way to hide something is to paint it red. In the 1700s and 1800s, when performers weren't using Cervantes, they